Gotcha. Ah, that's better.
ProtectYourBubble.com. Proud sponsors of Swipe on Sky News.
It's a beautiful sunny day here in Los Angeles, but I'm going to head into this convention center, this cold convention center, to check out what Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo are going to have us playing for the next couple of years. It's a trade-only event, but I've got my press pass, so let's go and head inside.
Yes, we've got our man in Los Angeles for the biggest video gaming convention in the world. Stay tuned for in-depth insights into all things E3. As well as the biggest stories coming out of LA, we've got a roundup of the rest of the week's tech news. And of course, with E3 comes new games. Our review has done the hard work and narrowed them down for us. It's that time of year again, attracting nearly 50,000 gamers, developers and journalists from all over the world. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, otherwise known as E3, no, not here in London, over in LA, has been taking place this week. And it's a very special year for the event. It's 20 years old. And as a reminder of just how much the gaming industry has changed, we've come along to this retro arcade called the Heart of Gaming in London for a trip down memory lane. So while we play on some of these classics, and before we catch up with our man in LA, here's Angela with a roundup of E3's best bits.
Our first game tonight has been long anticipated by the gaming community.
Sony used this year's event to surprise its audience, announcing the release of The Last Guardian. The game has been in development for over 5 years, with fans giving up hope on it ever coming out. And although the release date was a little vague, the company says it's coming to PlayStation 4 next year. In the battle to be the best, rival Microsoft used the event to show off a new trailer of Halo 5 Guardians for Xbox One, showcasing its 4-player cooperative mode. The game will also feature at least one Hollywood talent. And making something old new again, Microsoft also introduced backwards compatibility, meaning older Xbox 360 games will be playable on the Xbox One console this year. Continuing the annual Showdown, the console giants outlined plans for virtual reality. Microsoft talked about its relationship with Oculus VR and announced a new version of Minecraft, specifically for its HoloLens headset.
Just take our experience off the wall and then put it on the table over here.
Sony didn't elaborate too much on its Project Morpheus, other than it still exists and a variety of different games are being developed for it. Other announcements came thick and fast. Classic Nintendo games dominated the Japanese firm's presentation, with new versions of Zelda, Mario and Star Fox being released. Gaming studio Bethesda announced the release date for Fallout 4 in November. A Final Fantasy VII remake was also revealed, giving in to almost 2 decades of fan demands. The role-playing game doesn't have a release date, but it will launch first on PlayStation 4. Mass Effect Andromeda was introduced as the next instalment of BioWare's epic space opera. And a new Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, is also out in autumn. Electronic Arts added to the end-of-year competition with Star Wars Battlefront.
Going to do it bigger, and we will settle for nothing less than a 9.5 on GameSpot.
For Ubisoft, all eyes are on the new South Park game, which is a sequel to last year's The Stick of Truth. The announcement came as a surprise after the show creators vowed that they would never make another video game again.
This game has to be sweet!
Angela Barnes, Sky News.
So what's the expert opinion on all those big announcements over in LA? Guy Cocker, games and technology expert, is there for us, and he sent us this.
For me, PlayStation really had the big announcements that gamers really care about. They've got games like No Man's Sky, The Last Guardian, even Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to their console. So for me, the winner of this E3 is probably PlayStation. So virtual reality is one of the big things in the gaming space right now. Next year we're actually going to see these headsets come out on the market. This is Sony's Project Morpheus, which is going to work with the PlayStation 4. It's going to be coming out around the middle of next year. We don't know price details yet, but we think around £200, £250. And it's really a big leap in how games work. If you look at the screen over here, you can see you're viewing this world through kind of a flat window, but when you put on a VR headset, wherever you're looking and wherever you move, the game world is you feel like you're right in there, and it's a very, very immersive experience. For me, the Sony Project Morpheus has probably got the most potential because it works with PlayStation 4 and so many people have a PlayStation 4 console. For me, I can't wait to get my hands on it. There are three key things for me at Microsoft's booth here at E3 2015. One is core franchises that gamers really care about. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Gears of War, Forza, Halo 5. These are all coming to Xbox within the next year. Then there's the technical stuff that they're doing. They've got HoloLens, which is a new VR headset. They're going to allow you to play games that are still in development. And they're also going to allow you to play PC mods on Fallout 4, one of the biggest games of the year. Some really interesting technical stuff.
Now, can you remember which year this game was released? It's the first one ever to feature Super Mario, but in those days he was just known as Jumpman. But for something shiny and new, here's Ross in LA with his favourite releases to come out of E3. Oh, and this was 1981, by the way.
First up, it's Fallout 4. Now, this franchise has been around for a long, long time and has been teased just a couple of weeks prior to E3, and now we know a lot more about it. It's this huge open world. You can play as either a male or a female character. There is a lovely little dog that you now have as a companion to take you through the wastelands, and it all will come together in Boston. But it is coming out this year, which is great news for all Fallout fans and anybody that's new to the franchise. This is going to be a hit, and I cannot wait for this game, so this is definitely one of my games of E3. Next up is Rainbow Six Siege from Ubisoft. This game, again, is a franchise that I cannot wait for. It offers 5 versus 5 competitive gameplay. What we've also seen from this year's E3 is the 5-player co-op mode, where you are going up against AI-controlled opponents to basically take down a siege where there's either a bomb or a hostage, and it's all about how tactically you insert yourself into that scenario. So all in all, Rainbow Six Siege from Ubisoft is going to be an absolutely amazing game out this year. The Call of Duty franchise is back, and this year it is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Yes, one of the most anticipated franchises of Call of Duty is back, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. We've seen not just a single player, but multiplayer at this year's E3. Single player offering 4-player co-op for the first time in the campaign. Loads of new abilities, loads of new weapons. What we saw from it, there was a load of action going on. There's mechs, slightly futuristic, but just a huge amount of action as you would expect from Call of Duty. Black Ops 2 was such a phenomenon for the Call of Duty franchise. Everybody cannot wait now for Black Ops 3, and we haven't got that long to wait because, again, it's out in November of 2015. So they are my top games releasing in 2015, but we've seen so many other games coming out in 2016 with Uncharted 4, Gears 4, The Division. The list can go on, and I cannot wait, not just for the rest of this year, but what we're going to see in 2016 and beyond.
Now, away from E3 and away from Mario, here's a roundup of some of this week's other tech news. NASA gave us a glimpse of life on board the International Space Station with a new clarity this week. A 4K ultra-high-definition video was released showing views of planet Earth, as well as Commander Terry Virts eating a space burger. The footage was shot before he and 2 of his fellow astronauts returned to Earth last week. It's hoped the improved resolution video will mean researchers can get new insights into experiments on board the ISS. A New York startup behind headphones that let you control sounds around you has now brought the system to the UK via Kickstarter. The Hear earbuds can suppress or enhance noises in your environment, so you could turn down the sound of a loud engine or boost the bass inside a nightclub. The wearable smashed a crowdfunding target of $250,000 within 2 days when it launched in the US. London Mayor Boris Johnson was learning to code this week. He joined secondary school pupils at a session in Camden to mark the launch of London Technology Week. Research shows London has cemented its place as the most important tech hub in Europe. It's forecast to boost the city's economy by £18 billion this year. Well, that's it for this week. I'm off to get in the groove 2006 style. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Love that?
Yeah.
Gotcha. better.
ProtectYourBubble.com, proud sponsors of Swipe on Sky News.